We have a surprising Cowboys trade incoming as an NFL insider just revealed a new update on the Cowboys' plans for the NFL trade deadline that is less than a month away, especially after the injury to Miles Sanders. We talk about it all here today on Cowboys Digest. Hope you're having a good Wednesday wherever you might be. But with that being said, let's get right into today's show and waste no time because, well, the NFL trade deadline is wasting no time. It will occur on November 4th. Teams will have until 5 p.m. Eastern time on that day to complete any trades that they want to do before it is, not legal for the rest of the season. Now, there's ways around it and smaller things, but in regards to the bigger trades, in regards to the people that we are going to talk about on today's show, there is no way to make a trade after that November 4th deadline. And so with this, it's October 15th. We're talking about probably just a little over a half a month until that trade deadline is occurring. And so ESPN, NFL Network, so many media platforms are talking about what exactly is the plan for all 32 teams. Are you buyers? Are you sellers? Are you somewhere in the middle? What do you need? What do you need to get rid of? That's exactly what everybody's talking about. For the Dallas Cowboys, they're an interesting slot because in some aspects, they have the talent, but in a lot of aspects, they could use some more because of injuries. Specifically in this, we're going to talk about the running back room because as of right now, Javonte Williams is the only true running back that they have besides Jaden Blue. That's where we start with this article and talk about it. Cowboys, they are urged to trade for a fourth round running back ahead of the NFL trade deadline. And the kind of sub-headline here, with depth at running back, it's going to be a sudden concern. We'll talk about that more. Apparently, we're looking to be trading for an SEC standout, talking about a guy from the University of Tennessee. This, a matter of fact, actually came from a previous article from ESPN. It was kind of a subsection in this, but this was more of an in-depth review in the Dallas Cowboys related article. But it came from NFL Week 7, latest buzz, questions, news, and fantasy tips. And this was a lot about the NFL trade deadline and what the expectation is moving forward for pretty much all 32 teams. Speaking of the running back room, I have to talk about why this is such a big issue because Miles Sanders, for better or for worse, was doing some things that the Cowboys needed. He was a positive outlook, and I'm going to say it, he was a role player, and a good role player at that. Jaden Blue has been asked to take over in that role, and while he has not seen a ton of action, he has not done much with that action. You see, if we kind of think about what exactly kind of is going on with the Dallas Cowboys, you got to look at a running back because it's not going well right now for Jaden Blue. It's 7 carries for 7 yards. Like nothing is going to, go that way. And so that's kind of where we go into this article. Randy Gerzai of Dallas Cowboys SI saying, quote, "The Cowboys hoped rookie Jaden Blue would take advantage of the opportunity provided by Sanders' injury. But through 2 games, he has just 7 yards on 7 attempts." Part of that is the fact that he was inactive for 2 games. Part of that was that he was not there. And so I kind of mentioned, or at least saw the guy on there, but the guy we're looking at is Jaylen Wright. Now, I'm going to throw up his stats, and you're probably going to be a little confused. You're thinking, why are we even looking at this guy? Well, I want you to look up because he's not being used. He hasn't played in a game. He has no rushing attempts, nothing in terms of stats. He was a 4th-round pick just a year ago. He's not even 23 years old yet, and yet would be a perfect fit for the Dallas Cowboys because at one point in time, just a year ago, they were on, or he was on the Cowboys draft board. So that's kind of what we look at in that light. So Jaylen Wright is the guy we are going to talk about. He did play in a last year in 2024. If you're curious about his stats, here they are. He appeared in 15 games, had 68 carries for 249 yards, 1 fumble, no touchdowns. He also had 15 games, or rather 3 receptions, I should say, on 6 targets for 8 yards in the passing game. In terms of why I like this guy, specifically one reason is because he should be cheap. If you think about what exactly is going to happen with the Miami Dolphins running back room, they have a lot of running back. They have Devon Achane, they have Ollie Gordon, they also have some other guys that they really like, and so Jaylen Wright, it's just not useful for them to take in anymore, and so the Cowboys could be a perfect fit for that. Continuing on with the article here, Randy Gerzai saying, quote, "Following a stellar career at Tennessee, Wright was a player the Cowboys showed interest in during the 2024 NFL Draft. However, he did end up going to Miami, who selected him in the fourth round at the number 120 overall pick. So, why Wright? Why is the ESPN guru saying that Wright is a good choice? Well, I think we first have to kind of talk about Wright and specifically kind of what would fit. So let's kind of go more into depth here and kind of talk. Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, here's what he had to say. Quote, Wright is a player I've had on my radar for that very reason. A lot of teams were high on him during the 2024 draft, including Dallas, which has a soft need after the Miles Sanders injury, end quote. I would go one step further. I really do think this is a bigger than a soft need, because I will say that Javonte Williams has performed great and has given me no reason to question whether he can continue this workload or whether or not he will continue the way he is playing. However, he is on pace for a career high in carries by about 50, mind you. They do not have a backup running back that is not a rookie and does not have NFL experience. And Jaden Blue, for better or for worse, a fifth-round pick out of Texas, the Cowboys have not liked using him that much. That's just the simple fact. They've kept him inactive for a lot, even though the first week Miles Sanders was gone. They kept him inactive. They could be a good choice. What would a trade look like, you ask? Here's what we have from Randy Gerzai of Dallas Cowboys SI, saying, quote, the Cowboys shouldn't be ready to move on from Blue. And I agree with that. Jaden Blue has lots of time. I'm not saying we give up Jaden Blue and we forget about him. But if they can get Wright for a late round pick and provide some competition, it might be worth exploring, end quote. And I think even more to go in depth on this, if we go back to the depth chart, there's a chance for Phil Maffa at some point to return. It becomes less and less likely in my mind that he will return this season. The farther we get, there's been legit no updates on him since he got put on IR right before that 53-man roster deadline. I don't see any competition coming into this running back room from anywhere besides outside the organization. Yeah, they've got their practice squad, and there's potential for Hunter Lipke to be a potential running back fit as well. But Javonte is going to have to carry this team on his back legitimately. Get somebody in here to provide even just a secondary option, because if I know one thing about NFL running backs, it's that sometimes having three can just make it to where you have a little more competition and can make you get the best out of all three of the players you have. So I ask the question to you. If the Cowboys can go out there and say, hypothetically, trade a late round pick for Jaylen Wright, is that something you're doing? Let me know down in the comment section. Would you like to trade for Jaylen Wright of the Miami Dolphins, a guy the Cowboys had really looked at in last year's draft class? If you would, then I want you to type a T for trade. If you think, no way, I'm not trading for him, I believe in Jaden Blue, I want him to get the reps, and I don't want to take that away from him by getting Jaylen Wright, then I want you to type P for pass. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. T for trade, P for pass on Jaylen Wright. I personally am a T for trade, and that is not to say that I want the reps taken away from Jaden Blue. I just want there to be a competition, a competitive aspect to this, because I believed in Jaden Blue. And to be fair to him, the offensive line and the way we were scheming against the Carolina Panthers, even on offense, I know we scored the amount of points we did, but a lot of it was because of the passing game. The Panthers basically said, we're going to go run first. And that's exactly why George Pickens had the game he did. And Jaden Blue and Javonte Williams had the games they did. If you can have a little bit more competition and have the opportunity for Javonte to have a guy in Jaden Blue who's young, a guy in Jaylen Wright that's young, and not have to rely on him so heavily, and know that if you put Jaden Blue in there, there's limited options, and in some ways the defense is going to be in a little bit more high alert. It's just going to make for a more positive outlook having three running backs, having three guys you can go to, you can trust, you can look at. And the biggest thing to me, and the reason why I am a T for trade wholeheartedly, the Cowboys had interest in him. They liked him last year. They didn't end up getting him, and now the Dolphins aren't playing him, and they're a very bad football team. They are. There are going to be teams calling about Jaylen Wright, but he is an underrated option. There are names out there that are going to be way more talked about. Breece Hall, for instance, is a huge name people are going to be calling about. So if you get ahead of the game here, you go after Jaylen Wright, say before the start of November, price could be low. Price could be low because there's no one else bidding against you right now. And I think that's the biggest argument I have to it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Is Jaylen Wright somebody that you believe would be a good topic, a good piece of information for the Cowboys to acquire? Or is this just kind of smoke in the water and just the trade rumors flying around? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. We appreciate you. Hope you have a great Wednesday wherever you might be. And we'll see you next time here on Cowboys Digest. Peace out.